So about all those unanswered Xbox One questions, Microsoft finally answered them. Grab your pitchforks, internet. It's time for some rage! Thursday night, when the rest of the country was freaking out over the US government and their spying program PRISM, Microsoft decided to drop a bombshell of their own into the laps of gamers. Yep, all those unanswered questions like, how will the Xbox One require you to be always online? Will it play used games? And how much will Kinect spy on you were all answered, and it wasn't pretty. Which leads me to a brand new segment I like to call TFN Good News, Bad News. First, the good news. Xbox One will not require a persistent online connection. The bad news is it will need to connect to the internet once every 24 hours to verify if the system or any games you own need an update. It also checks to see if you bought any new games or happen to get rid of any games in that same 24-hour period. If you want to say, play a single player game you bought without being connected online, the Xbox One will let you do that for 24 hours on your primary console. Otherwise, after that 24 hours is up, if you're not connected, your Xbox One will simply become a standard Blu-ray and DVD player and cable box. Also, if you want to say play a game offline on someone else's system, you can do that too, as long as you log in and access your game library. Oh, and once you guys do that, you can only play it for an hour before it shuts down. But the good news is, since you're always online, game developers can make worlds that constantly evolve when you're not playing, so that's worth it, right? No. And hey, more good news, Xbox One will let you rent and play used games. The bad news is it won't be available at launch. Also, it's entirely up to the publisher as to whether or not they want to enable support of game rental or resale, which, given most publishers have been against the practice of used game sales since they don't see a penny of the profits, probably means very few of them will jump on the used game bandwagon. On the good news front, Microsoft said, quote, your friends and family, your guests and acquaintances get unlimited access to all your games. Anyone can play your games on your console, regardless of whether you're logged in or their relationship to you. Plus, you can loan out your disc-based games to your friends. But the bad news is you can only give them to people who have been on your friends list for at least 30 days. And each game can only be given out once. But at least Xbox One will allow you to let up to 10 family members access your shared games library on Xbox One at any time, so that's something too, right? I guess. Good news though, Kinect won't be listening to you all the time after all. You can actually turn it off. Bad news is, you have to go through a lengthy process to set up your privacy options to make sure Kinect isn't listening to your conversations while the system is on. Also, when you turn off the system, the Kinect is paused, not completely off, and will only listen for the Xbox on command. Good news though, if you want, you can turn that feature off too. But the bad news is, lots of apps and games will require Kinect functionality to work, so you'll need to turn it back on. Adding insult to injury, Microsoft canceled all of its interviews with the press during E3, so this is the last we'll be hearing about the core functionality of the Xbox One for the time being. But part of me feels like this isn't the last we've heard of the Xbox One's game-changing functionality before its release. What do you guys think? Did Microsoft's statements further turn you off to buying an Xbox One? Or are you still gonna get one anyway? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And as always, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. For TFN, I'm Scott Bromley saying RIP GameStop and Gamefly and Blockbuster, but you kind of did that to yourself with the movie thing. And independent retailers who rely on used game sales. It's a great ride.